Yes, sure. I'm Elnaz Neinavaz from University of Twente, Faculty of ITC since 2013. I work here at the university as a research fellow, as a remote sensing expert, but my background is biodiversity and ecology as well. So NextGEO project is kind of fit for my background and what I like. So I'm going to talk about the NextGEO biodiversity pilot at NextGEO. I can start if you want.
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead and share your screen.
Yeah.
And I will disappear.
Yeah.
Yes.
So biodiversity pilot, there are some partners involved in biodiversity pilot from DLR, ITC, as I said, and also Wageningen University. So what I explain in the future, in a minute, it's kind of team effort that many colleagues are involved. Okay. Biodiversity pilot in general, let me explain first about our concern in this project, because as you know, the rate of biodiversity loss is kind of critical concern, and we are looking for the method to assess the impact of human, or in other words, anthropogenic change and biodiversity and different scale, local and global scale. And these methods remain incomplete. In general, biodiversity pilot and NextGEO project has two subtasks, task consisting creating European EBVs data hub. EBV means Essential Biodiversity Variable, as well as using remote sensing enable Essential Biodiversity Variable for European habitat modeling. I just want to a bit explain about the EBVs now, which is we emphasize a lot in the NextGEO biodiversity pilot. EBVs in general define as a drive measurements which require to study, report, and manage biodiversity changes. So in fact, these variables help us to monitor biodiversity efficiently. Scientists believe that this variable should be able to capture critical scales and dimension of biodiversity, and also they should be sensitive to change. So, and they believe that in fact this variable should be biological. So, in this regard, consequently, EBVs have become accepted nomenclature or a major impediment to monitoring, which has been dysfunctional in coordinating between and understanding between networks of observation, specifically between space agencies and as a data provider, and communities and different stakeholders. So in this regard, in the first task of biodiversity pilot, we try to first identify the available EBVs and populated them to the NextGEO European EBV data hub. EBV in general has, there are 6 classes, 6 EBV classes, which determined by GeoBone. You can see here ecosystem structure, ecosystem function, species traits, species population, and also community composition. But there is one more class which named genetic composition. Since in NextGEO we focus on and we try to link between Earth observation and our focus is on remote sensing data, so we exclude this class because we are unable to using remote sensing to monitor them. in the other hand, besides what I said, we try to predict or retrieve leaf area index as one of the most important vegetation biophysical parameters, and also EBVs and as well as ECV to retrieve as an example for cloud computing. Later on, we use these parameters that we populated in European Data Hub, NextGEO European Data Hub, as an input for the cloud computing for European habitat modeling, which is really valuable. And the research which has done by our partner, Wageningen University, showed that it's helpful to get more accurate habitat modeling map. So which kind of shows the value of these EBVs data hub. Our focus in NextGEOSS is focusing on the variable which at European scales. But we try to look at this in a wider aspects, and we try to populate the variables at national and also European and as well as global level. So we didn't just limit ourselves to European data. We try to populate as much as possible EBVs to NextGEO Data Hub. In 2027, it was a workshop, and the workshop was held here at Enschede University of Twente, and almost 40 senior international experts from different parts of the world came here in breakout groups, and they tried to identify nearly 120 biodiversity variable, which can be derived from remote sensing and observation data, and they complied them as EBV candidates. So in NextGEO Data Hub, we try to add more and more variables to help researchers and other stakeholders to directly use this data hub and see the value of NextGEO European EBVs data hub. Since ecology scientists, from ecology scientists' point of view, in general, EBV should be globally applicable, and they should be scale-free and ecologically meaningful. While on the other hand, you will see that the remote sensing experts mostly emphasize on the processing change for same EBV product, and the things that they should be. You should reproduce them for long-term monitoring. So here in the NextGEO Data Hub, you will see some of the data that is already populated, and also they are considered as EBV data. In the next step, as I said, we try to predict this data directly from the satellite image. Here we focus on Sentinel-2 image. In the NextGEO European EBV Data Hub, is you able to capture the image that you considered as important and it's your study area, and then do the pre-processing. You can do resampling based on the criteria that you want to work with. We have some options. You can resampling to 10 meter, 20 meter, and 30 meter resolution for your work. And after pre-processing, you can retrieve leaf area index through two different algorithms. These algorithms globally are accepted and tested, so and validated, and it's possible to run the algorithm and then download and store it in your computer. I can say that I can claim that it's the first time that I see that it's possible to in one data hub you see the available EBVs, as well as you are able to predict directly from the satellite image considered variable. So which is the value of NextGeo project, I think. And thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Elnaz. A very important topic and useful for many purposes. Can you unshare your screen, please?
Yes, yes.
Yes.